Hi folks, it's Deanna. Just want to come on here today, talk to you about the last couple of days, stuff that's been going on in case you haven't caught it yet. But there's quite a bit of information that's come out by the Republican Party. Mike Johnson, he has come out and he is claiming that Trump has been an FBI informant against Epstein for years. And I believe this because back before Trump even ran for president, they were talking about this kind of stuff and how they were working. Trump had gone to the FBI making complaints years and years ago about Epstein because of what was happening with his family and what was happening with employees and stuff like that. They were making claims that Epstein was evil and doing evil behavioral type stuff. And so Trump basically went, this is what we heard, to the FBI making those complaints about him years and years ago. Don't know about any of this. I'm just relying on what stuff that I know, that I heard back before the presidency and stuff like that. Don't hold me to any of this. But you can hold Mike Johnson because he did come out and say that. And he also claims that Trump never tried to hinder the Epstein files coming out. He said he was assisting in these files and what he had found out and stuff like that on other stuff, other issues that had come out during all this, he was disgusted about. But anyways, that's the stuff that's coming out right now. He said Trump was being used by the FBI for decades to take down Epstein and this kind of crap in our country. He didn't say this kind of crap. That's my own wording. Anyways, but it is crap. It's more than crap. It's like Trump said, disgusting. And I remember years and years and years ago, when I was younger, that people talked about Trump having these casinos and stuff, and then there were some people that was out there talking about how some people was getting in trouble in those casinos. So it makes you wonder if Trump wasn't working through his casinos back then. That's just some other stuff that I had heard about years ago. Let's see what else we got. Johnson said that based on the falling out with Epstein over the two decades, Trump had gone to the FBI on Epstein's behavior. So that's just confirming just exactly what I knew years and years ago. Several of the survivors have come forward also, and they are wanting more of the information on the trafficking to come out. And they were claiming that there's more than what's been let out there. And I'm sure that there probably is. Probably some really, really bad stuff that we don't want to see, because I know about the frazzle dip stuff with the Clintons and this and that. So we probably don't want to see some of that stuff or hear about it for that matter. We also found out too that Epstein has been working for Israel through all the information that we've been seeing. It's obvious. And it's obvious too that through what we've been seeing, they are very supremacist folks. These Luciferian Zionist Jews think they're the cat's meow and that you're a peon, like we've talked about in some of my videos. This is how they feel. They feel like they are superior to anybody else out there. That's the way they think. In some of the leaked emails from the handle of hackers that were provided, Israel is behind his operations, and Israel and Epstein were also attempting to overthrow the Syrian government. What I want to know is why we're not talking about the fact that they've been trying to overthrow the American government. I mean, you don't hear that from their owned mainstream media, because they own it, for that matter. So you're not going to hear that about that. I call it the Zuju coup. And that's my name for it. Anyways, I also want you to know that the mainstream media, they aren't ever going to talk about the fact that the American government was being overthrown, because some of them are behind it. I fully 100% believe that. Epstein also had a close relationship with the former Israeli Prime Minister HUD, I guess, Barack, and Epstein even sent drafts to him to recommend for his opt-ins. Unbelievable. So they've been operating in our government for years and years and years doing this stuff, y'all. And then there's Mutsa Hussein and Ryan Grimm from Drop Site News. I hope I said his name right, because some of these names I just don't even know. But they published that there was more evidence of Epstein's role in aiding Israel, and Epstein sold surveillance, some of our surveillance stuff, to prominent spies of Israel. And this spy would even stay at Epstein's for weeks on end. And he pursued a Swiss Rothschild bank to finance Israel's cyber weapons. The Rothschilds are implicated in the Zionist project from as early as 1910. So they've been doing this stuff for forever. They don't care. As long as they get their New World Order, they don't care how long it takes. They're just going to keep on and on and on and on. They're just like a parasite that you try to cleanse, and it just comes back, and it cleanses and keeps coming back. That's what they do. Anyway, something else too, and by the way, those Rothschilds also own Jerusalem, and they practically own Israel, and they brag that they own us. One of our favorite informatives is Robert Steele, and you've seen a lot of his stuff and everything. Well, he was murdered. Comes out he was murdered. He didn't die of COVID. They murdered him. Just like they murdered a lot of people, I think, in those hospitals. And by the way, those hospitals are owned by these folks. Most all of them. And they're the ones behind your licensing. And they're the ones that teach you in the schools. I mean, this stuff gets deep. Anyways, it's coming out that they were behind his murders. And the FBI, Google, Microsoft, and Amazon have Mossad agents working, ex-Mossad agents working for them. And we went over that in my last video. And I want to tell you something, folks. I think when it all comes down to it, you're going to find out that this turning point stuff has probably had Israel's hands all up in it. I'm just going to say, based on what I know and what I've been researching and stuff, and the Kirks and all of their family and everything, I think you're probably going to be finding that out here shortly. Don't hold me to it. Don't hold any of this to me that I've told you. Research it yourself. And I will put some of the information and links and stuff where I got my information in the comments in this later on today. But we got some major problems going on in this country. It needs the cleaning. Big time. And something else too that I've seen that was verified by several different sources is Trump's pulling away from Israel because he thinks that they're making really bad decisions. And I'm like, you think? Based on what they're doing to the people in America and around the world. So I wouldn't want to be associated with somebody that's doing that comes in and says they're going to help you out and then stabs you in the back while they're doing it. So just saying. Anyway, keep your head up, folks. Looks like maybe the cleaning's going to start taking place, and I wish our president would go in there and do the cleaning and say, hey, I mean, this is just my opinion, but I think they just need to say, hey, you got X amount of time to get out of our country, and if you aren't out of our country by X amount of time, the military's coming after you. Just saying. And that goes for anybody that's illegal. That goes for anybody that can't follow the Constitution. If you can't come and join our culture and adhere to our Constitution, you need to be gone. That's just my opinion. Anyway, love ya.